All right, so we got a 2008 Cadillac Escalade ESV with a leaking refrigerant line. This is the line. Let's see if you can see the leak dye. You can see the green right there coming out of the cribs there. So yeah, that's a bad line. You can see the moisture all on the line. It's wet. Been chasing this leak for a while. Finally found it. Guess I just wasn't looking hard enough, but I guess in the beginning when I tried to look for it, it wasn't showing as clear. And as the line got worse, the leak became more easier to see. I couldn't find the leak initially, so I just kept topping it off. It would take about a can of Freon every other summer, so it was a very slow leak. But this summer that just passed, I noticed that it wasn't cooling as well, even when I added the other can, and I've seen that the pressure kept losing quick because it wasn't cooling, and I throw the gauges up on it, and it would say it was still low, give me indication that it was still low right after, about a week or two of putting it in. So I didn't want to waste no more money just throwing cans in it. So I decided to throw some dye in it and see if we can show me where it's at this time. And yes, it showed. This line is the line that goes from the upper condenser right there, and it runs to the compressor up on the side. In there. Compressor's right there. And you can see the port where it would connect to. This is the new line. Right here has a manifold on it. I was thinking of using the same sensor, but seeing that sensor is pretty wet, I might just go ahead and put a new sensor on it. So I had this bumper cover removed for the transmission cooler line that I did right here. But if you want to comfortably gain access to this line up in there to remove it, then I would recommend you taking your bumper off. It's a 13 millimeter. I was able to put a small socket, well, a 1/4 inch deep socket with a 1/4 inch ratchet in through here, and reach up in there with it. Couldn't get it from the bottom, I mean, it's awkward angle. But, and then the line on the compressor is a 13 millimeter as well, 13 millimeter bolt. I'm doing the accumulator receiver driver as well. There's the old dryer. There's a new dryer. And change out the orifice tube, change the O-rings, and flush the system out, vacuum and reseal. And that's what that's gonna be like. So this is the orifice tube I removed. This is the new one. Got a lot going on right there, a lot. So there's special tools out there to remove orifice tubes, but I usually get them out with some small needle nose, different assortment, and see whichever one works out the best for the application. This application happens to be an 08 Escalade, so these worked out the best. Once you remove the dryer off the firewall, then you'll have access to put your pliers. It sits in here, so you stick your needle nose in there and just kind of pull out. It's gonna be hard, but it'll come out. So now we got this out. Go ahead and flush the system, put the new stuff in, vacuum the system, and then recharge. And then we should be blowing snowflakes once again. All right, so we have it vacuumed down. I just want to kind of explain how this vacuum works. When you vacuum down your system, low side is going to drop down to about -27. and this is gonna drop down by, I want to say about probably -10, -15. There's no indicators on the high side when it drops below 0. It's not connected right now, it's disconnected. But when it's connected and you're pulling vacuum, that's where you're going to want to get to, -27, and around this area, -0, anything below -0. So after you perform your vacuum, right, when you shut off your pump and you close your valves, you got an open position for the vacuum, you close them when you're done. When you're done and you close these valves, if these needles do not move and there is no leak in the system, everything is okay to recharge. Now, if you vacuum and you close these and this creeps up and that creeps up, double check all your work because you missed something. And there's a leak in the system. So one thing I want to say is the only place that any vacuum gauge cannot detect a leak is at the actual ports on the high side valve and the low side valve. When they are connected, they're going to hold. So if for some reason you have a leak in one of those valves, it won't show until it's disconnected and you fill the system up. And if you got a slow leak somewhere, that's where it's going to be coming from if it checked out prior to filling it up. So if it checked out and then it didn't show no leak and you filled it up and then you get a leak, most time is going to be right there at these little valves, because if you didn't change these when you were doing whatever service that you did, then that's going to be the only weak point. So that's how I explain it. Hope it was helpful. It's any of you DIYers or people that don't really understand it. All right, 2008 Cadillac Escalade ESV. We replaced the receiver dryer, the orifice tube, and the AC line that runs from the compressor to the top port of the condenser. So everything's changed. We vacuumed the system, we flushed the system, and we recharged the system. So let's see where we're at. I still need to add about a can of Freon. It takes about 3 pounds in total for this vehicle because it has front and rear AC. So I'm still short about a can. It's not enough to make the system cut off and cut off. I also replaced both the AC refrigerant pressure sensor and the AC refrigerant pressure switch. The switch is located on the accumulator dryer that sits on the wall. And then the sensor is located on the line. Everything's nice and cool. Oh, 2 degrees difference. Still cold, but that could be because it's still low. Yeah, here we go. Push together. Switch is on the line. Pump it back on, call it a day.